A bunch of you guys want to know how I've been able to passively make $100,000 a month, and we're going to answer that question right now. Stay tuned. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Chuck Kohout coming to you live with Always Be Closing, powering the Creative Real Estate Club. Do me a favor and just smash the subscribe button over here and hit that little bell. You'll know every time we drop a new video. Today we're going to talk to you a little bit about multiple streams of income. I'm going to do my best to break down our multiple streams of income so you know how this really happens. We're going to go step by step. I'm going to take you through our rentals, our flips, credit restoration, students, and we're even going to talk a little bit about referral agreements. Now, I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to have the bravado that most of my competition does and say everything's wonderful right now and we're collecting rent and everybody's paying on time, because that's not the case. Typically, on an average month, we have to make roughly $30,000 to break even. That is our 0 point. So that's a lot of money. That's probably like your average individual's income nationally just to survive. We've got to make every month to keep this thing afloat. Typically, we like to do that through rental income. Passively, we like to net at least $30,000 a month from our rentals. This month, because of the coronavirus and COVID-19, even with our rent modifications and our efforts to come up with some sort of payment plan with all of our tenants, we're not there. Now, fortunately, and I'm going to say a lot of this is just dumb luck, but we're in a spot where we're pretty well capitalized and we're going to make it through this no problem. So our rental collection right now is about 50% of what it should be. Typically, we like to take that up over 40, and we've had that when we've had multiple rentals closer to $50,000, $60,000 a month just from sitting on our asses. Now you know how I can afford to travel the world, and honestly, it's been kind of fun. I remember the first time I did it, I went away for a month with one of my exes. We saw most of the country. I came back, I remember opening the P.O. box, and there was like 30 grand in there. I was like, I should go on vacation more often. This is pretty awesome. It's working. So after rents, the next big income thing is going to be flips, and this is how a lot of you guys are going to get started, whether if it's a wholesale deal or something a little bit more complicated. I like to do anywhere from one a month to one a quarter. Now, typically our average flip, we're targeting six figures, at least $100,000. And the reason for that is because $100,000 can very easily become 75 or 50 with other expenses that come up the way that we buy. $50,000 in terms of a potential profit very easily, and I'll go into this in a later video, can become 30 just because you're doing things like paying closing costs and paying for an inspection and buying insurance for your buyer who forgot to do it at the closing table. All kinds of crazy stuff. But I mean, if I can nail anywhere from one six-figure closing a quarter to one a month, like we're balling, especially if our rental collections are great, then we're talking about buying more hard assets. The next big income stream, and this is going to blow some minds, is credit restoration. I mean, now this can be off the chart. It's an MLM, and I know what you're thinking. It's like one of those Ponzi scheme kind of things, but that's not why I got into it. I fell in love with the product. I actually got a call and an email from somebody who picked up a card off my car, a gentleman by the name of William Moore, and I actually bought the product because there was some stupid we're talking about maybe 13 years ago on my credit from college where some of my roommates didn't pay an old phone bill. I bought this product. It was cheaper than paying the phone bill, and immediately 3 months later, off, and I had $750 credit. I called this gentleman William Moore, who worked for United Credit Education and Restoration. He came in, tried to give me his pitch. I went, Will, sit down, I'm in. This is what I'm gonna do. I don't even wanna know how to sell this stuff. All I know is the product works. And before I even started introducing him to all of our students, what I immediately started doing was we took the secretary in our office and some of the interns, and we took all the calls coming in for everybody that wanted to buy a property but hadn't been pre-qualified yet, had all of them pre-qualified through a mortgage broker, and if they didn't get pre-qualified, we asked those leads get sent back to us. Then we bring them all in on a Sunday, and we do bagels and credit restoration, or we just do it over the phone. And the pitch was simple. Listen, idiot, you can't buy this place or you can't rent this place because your credit sucks. But if you had the ability to purchase better credit and get lower interest rates on your credit cards, even on your utility bills, would you do it? Because if not, you don't belong on this phone call or in this office with us. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to get up and walk out. If not, you're gonna stay here and we're gonna restore your credit. And that actually became a pretty outrageous income stream to me, to where it was anywhere for a period of something like 5 to 6 years during the credit crisis that I was making $2 to $3 grand a month just off restoring people's credit. And that wasn't even me directly doing it. It was people in my downline. I know I have like the largest downline on the East Coast of the nation. I've got somewhere between 2,500 and 3,000 people whose credit I've restored and have in turn turned around and helped restore somebody else's credit. We know people hang out with people who they're like. So if you've got bad credit, chances are your friends do too. And once I've turned your credit back around, we've made it 700, you may want to start talking to the people around you, because if not, they're going to start borrowing from you and your credit's just going to go right back down again. And after that, our last income stream is referral agreements, and we've got a number of them. I know we've got one through Pat Live where they give us a small percentage of your phone bill. It's like 10%. Typically, they're going to give us a humongous kickback, like $120 for everybody who signs up. I mean, I said, look, the income stream's better, plus I'd rather not take money out of our students' pockets. I think the money's better in their pocket. They can invest it into their marketing. Pat Live is a virtual assistant company that we use. We advocate you use it as well. And once you sign up, they don't pay us, but as you pay your bill, we get a piece of what Pat Live gets. Your fee is not increased at all, and it helps you leverage your time by having a virtual assistant as well. One of the other things that we actually do make a few bucks through as well is different referral agreements like LegalZoom. Let's say you want to put together an LLC, we could send you a link, walk you through it. As a matter of fact, in a later video as well, we can go over structuring an LLC and all the different things you need to do to get set up to do business. You don't have to do it right out of the gate, but it is a good thing to have. So our revenue streams, in order of importance, at least to me, are going to be rental income. We typically like to have our monthly nut of $30,000 a month covered from rents. Flips, and that's going to be our gravy where we buy more hard assets. Credit restoration, we just take everybody who's a deadbeat, can't buy, can't rent, turn around, restore their credit. Many of them come back later and buy from us, which winds up being an even bigger income stream than the initial sale, and it also builds loyalty. After that, we've got our referral agreements, and lastly, there is our students. We do partner with a number of you guys on deals where we'll split the deals. Typically, we are not taking less than half. If you need us to write checks or fund deals, we may take a little bit more. If you'd like to come in and just be mentored or be coached in some way, we do provide that service as well. I'm not a big fan of paid coaching, just because honestly most of you just waste my time. I want to see some potential from you. I want to see you guys bring something to the table that you can't figure out, that you actually truly need me for, and then and only then I'll address it. If you have a deal, if you'd like to work with us, let's hear about it in the comments. My name is Chuck Kohout. Always be closing. Bye for now.